What was making the popping noise?
They're popping
Things are gonna go
bubbles.
south really fast. Poof. Now we're all set. Now, the second page, ladies and gentlemen. Like this. Don't ask me how to do the second one, because it's just like the first one.
One is for.
I got three wrong.
And when I collect tomorrow's assignment, which is basically the same thing, if I only see this and I don't see any work over here, I will have you redo it during detention time. So please, I just beg of you. Because again, I understand how taking pictures of this and going on whatever application will give you all the answers. But in my mind, that doesn't help you in life. So just be forewarned that tomorrow. Wait, does anybody have any questions on this first before I come on? Well, Ben, we're doing the same thing tomorrow, so you came at a good time because I will be all re-explained there. Ben, let me just give it to you in the nutshell. You just get to pick what X numbers are, you put in what X, and you get these dots that form this parabola. But that you will understand it more after this here. Now, certainly after that, Lexi Hines is saying there must be an easier way than doing it the way we did yesterday. Somebody say that.
There must be an easier way.
That is what today is all about. Everybody should know how to do things the hard way, and then the easy way would be saying, I'm so thankful we can do it the easy way. And please make sure when you draw your parabolas, they are a rounded sort of object. They are not a pointed missile or any sort of thing. They've got a little rounded edge to it. I just want you to go into high school well aware of which field of objects.
I already asked that yesterday.
Are we ready? Take a deep breath. All right, that's deep enough. Let's talk about this. All right, so here we go. Here is, and this is not like a super fast way to do it, but it's by far much faster than what you did for today. All right, so you've got your little notes here. Here is your standard form of this Mr. Quadratic. The first thing you're gonna do, we're gonna graph this one. So write down these steps. Okay. Step number one is you need to use the formula to find the axis of symmetry. Okay. Every parabola that you draw has a center line which the thing is symmetric about. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is figure out where on your graph that line is. And in order to do that, you just need to use this little formula. This is where on X, that little axis is going to be. Okay. Now, before you do that, please, for step number two, actually, no, put it up here as step number half. Step number half, you have to know where these letters come from. Does anybody know where those letters come from? Zoe, quiz. The letter in front of the X is the A. The letter in front of the X squared is A. The letter in front of just the X is B. Okay, so, and the letter at the end is C. So, step number one is you must state what A, B, and C are. So, I'm going to do it down here. All right, so step number half will look like this. A equals, B equals, C equals. Benjamin, even a guy with a split finger can probably tell me this. My letter A down here, Ben, is what? What is that number? The number in front of the X squared? 2. A 2. My letter B is, Benjamin, the number in front of the X? 8. An 8. And the letter C that comes at the end? A 4. Stop me there if you didn't get that. Just the numbers in front of the things. Okay, so that should have been step half. Now, step number two is you need to use this formula, figure out where this axis of symmetry is. So I'll do that. Let's do that just for fun. Here's step number one. And again, the more time you take with this, I don't give you many problems with the hopes that you'll take your time and get them right. And the quicker you try to do this, the worse off you'll be. So here we go. I'm gonna put my parentheses in. Here's my B. Here's my 2 times A. B is everybody, everybody, everybody.
Eight.
I can hear somebody. Who was it? One more time.
Eight.
8. My letters. A is everybody, everybody, everybody. All right, if I simplify that, what is 8 divided by 4? And there's a negative in front, so my axis of symmetry is -2, negative in front. So here, ladies and gentlemen, at -2, that doesn't seem like it's the best place, but I'm gonna go with it. Did anybody see me make a mistake there? No. My whole life's been a mistake. Here we go. So here, you will draw your axis of symmetry at -2. Boink, 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 boink. Feel free to make those noises. Oh, there. See, now you're getting it. Step number 2. Okay. You need to put the number for the axis of symmetry into your original equation to find your max or min. I'll leave that up there so you can do it. For those of you joining in at home, it's going to be a good day. Are you ready? So when you watch it again, I'm sorry, what? To put the number for the axis of symmetry into the original equation to find your max or min. You just watch your voice on
Max or
camera.
min?
I'm getting to explaining what that is in just a minute here.
I have a question.
For who?
Like before, how did it get to -2?
Charlie.
Wait, you want me to go back to the equation where we put it in?
Yeah, but how did it get to negative?
Well, because the thing was negative here. Good question. If you don't get it, I put the equation is negative b over 2a.
Oh, that's how it's negative.
So it was 8 divided by 4, and that was all negative. Now, Ella Broman asked a good question. I did not get to the max or min here. Here is the deal. Listen carefully to this. Okay, we talked about if this is positive, it's a smiley face. Your parabola opens up like the letter U. If it is negative, it's a frowny face. It's sad. Okay. If it's negative, it's sad. If it's positive, it's this. Now, ladies and gentlemen, on this axis of symmetry is going to be, since this one is positive, the axis of symmetry is going to give you, the place on this axis of symmetry where the line actually crosses is going to be the lowest place on your graph. Like if it crosses right here, that if you find this point and you found the lowest point on the graph, because it is the bottom of the graph when it's a positive number, this is its minimum. That's as low as it'll go. Your axis of symmetry is as low as that graph's going to go because that's what it's based around and what it's centered in. If this was a negative, and you figure out where the point is on here, that is as high as it goes. So if it's negative, you have a max. If it's positive, you have a min. And I'm going to put this number I found over here, this -2. I am going to put it into this equation and figure out what the letter y is. And that's going to be the very bottom of my graph. It goes faster as we go along, but let me show you. So here we are. Step number, what am I at? 2. I am just going to take my 2x squared plus 8x plus 4 and substitute in what my axis of symmetry was, which was -2. So 2 times -2 squared plus 8 times -2 plus 4. For those of you at home, please follow along here. What do I get here? -2 times -2 is positive 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times -2 is -16 plus 4. Putting all those together, on this axis of symmetry, it is the y value is going to be 8 minus 16 plus 4, which is -4. That gives me -8 plus 4 is -4. So here, at I just guessed, look at it. This point at -2, -4 is the bottom of my graph. It is called the minimum value. It won't go any lower than that. Okay? Great. I like your enthusiasm, kids. Step number 3, ladies and gents, you'll like this one because this is the fastest of all. 3, find the y-intercept. Find where it crosses the y-axis by doing what? Anybody think they know what to do? By putting 2 t's or 1? You sure? Isn't that putting? Huh?
It's 3.
By putting 0 in for x. Now, don't think that's hard because look at this, ladies and gentlemen. I will do it the hard way, and then you'll say, well, why did you do that? And I'll say, because you wanted to know. Wait, do I not have any more? So step number 3, ladies and gentlemen, I'm putting 0 in for x's there. What's going to happen? 2 times 0 squared plus 8 times 0 plus 4. This is going to give me 0. This is going to give me 0. At 0, my y-intercept is 0, 4. Which means you just have to know what this last number is. That's where it crosses the y-axis. Miller? Let me get this. Let me do this first, and then I'll go back up. So here at 0, you put a dot there at 4 because that's where it crosses the y-axis. Now, ladies and gentlemen, once you find one, now that you know what the axis of symmetry is, kids, if you find one point, you've actually found 2 points because it's symmetrical. If you have, here's your axis of symmetry, if you have a dot that's 2 places to the right of that symmetry, line of symmetry, there also must be a dot exactly 2 places left of that line of symmetry, because that's in the middle of your whole thing. So step number 4 is put your symmetrical point to number 3. Now what, Russell, up here? Or down to the other side? Where, Abel, where am I? Where was it? Wait, who asked me to go back? Amelia, where? Up here or down there?
No, I got
Okay. Got that? Now, ladies and gents, I'm afraid to tell you, you do have to go old school and find one more point. And there's no easy way to find that one point except to put an x value and solve for y. Because you need just one more point, you probably could draw it like this, but no, we're not going to go the easy way. What you did for yesterday would be what you do for this last thing. So I'll do it up here because I ran out of room down here. So what would be the logical point to put in there for x, David? 1. No, because 1 would put you way over here to be way out of control.
Negative.
You want to put something between what you've already got, either -3 or -1. It doesn't matter. Which one, David?
Negative.
That's what I like. So 2 times -1 squared plus 8 times -1 plus 4. -1 times -1 is +1 times 2 is 2 minus 8 plus 4. By the way, the point better fall between these 2 points there. 2 minus 8 is -6 plus 4 is -2. So here at 1, I have -2. And like I said, once you know that, You know there's another dot, same distance at that point on the other side. Boom, ladies and gentlemen. Then we can sketch out, draw the parabola. Simply means it's going to do this. Like I said, we don't come to a point, kind of get a little roundy thing here. Roundy thing. And then there's usually somewhat of a stabilization. No, not just because I mentioned it. Now, I know that was a lot to take in at one time, so we will do one more example for you. Wait, who said that? Who was that there? Somebody just said with a big sigh. Is that you, Hines? Why would you do that? And this, I'm giving you, I know, they're not easy, but this is what happens. There's two sheets here, because the copy didn't do front to back. If you don't get two, let me know, or if they gave you the same sheet twice, or whatever. Yeah, for fun, everybody would do it. Again, don't tell me you can't do it until you've at least tried all the simple rules. We'll go at paper speed now. The directions is always the worst part. Huh? It is much different. You don't want to do this. You don't want to sit there and do this 12 times. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, super speed, follow along with me. Step number 1. Label your A, B, and C. A equals B equals C equals. Evan Sittler, A is, on this problem here, by the way, this is number 2 on your thing, so you can write it down on number 2. A is what, Evan? What's in front of the x squared? -1. B is, Amelia? B is in front of the x. What's in front of the x? +6. And C is, Kayla? -7. Congratulations. That's the first step. Just got to organize your steps. Step number 2, use the formula for the axis of symmetry, which is -b over 2a. Put those numbers in there. B over 2 times a. B was 6. A was -1. Be careful with your negatives and positives here. It is 6 over -1. I'm sorry, 6 over -2. But there's 2 negatives there, so your answer is going to be positive what, Ben? What's 6 divided by 2? 3. So my axis of symmetry is at 3. Oh, look how nicely it works out here. So here at 3, that is the line that the whole parabola goes around. Stop me there if that got confusing. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you have to, step number 3, find the max or the min. Now this one, because it is a negative x squared, it's a sad face. The point you're going to find is the top of the parabola because it opens downward. And how do I find that point? You put 3 into your equation here. That'll tell you what the y value is. So here we go, negative x squared plus 6 times x minus 7. And I am putting the number 3 in for that. Let's change it to red. 3 and 3. 3 times 3 is 9. This is a -9. Plus 18 minus 7. Who can do that math? Ava Russell, what is -9 plus 18 minus 7? There you go, plus 2. So at the point 3, 2, 3, 2, This is the top of your graph. That's the max, because it has to open downward. Step number 4, watch how fast this is. What is the y-intercept? By the way, the y-intercept is the letter C. Right there is your y-intercept. Doesn't make sense, does it? That's gonna cause trouble. I don't know why I gave you this one. So I guess down here you can put a point. Let's pretend it's over here. And over here you can put a point. And then this one I'm gonna look up here, pick a bad. And then the last thing you're gonna have to do is, you just have to figure out one point to put in here. Which one would you put in? I would probably pick a 2. We pick 2, let's put 2 in. 2 into the equation. If x equals 2, what does y equal? Again, you just have to go back to this. Negative 2 squared plus 6 times 2 minus 7. Which gives you what? 2 times 2 is 4. Negative 4 plus 12 minus 7. Oh, that should be easy. Ben can do that one.
4 plus, wait, do I do the?
Doesn't matter. Negative 4, negative 7 is negative 11. Negative 11 positive 12 is,
That one.
what? You say plus 1?
Yeah.
Plus 1. And again, once you know that that is there, you put its mate on the exact opposite side. And for that, I would say that's enough for your parabola to get. Just draw the old. Again, refraining from making it a point. Now, where do we run into trouble on that? I apologize that this did fall on the graph. I'm not sure what I. All right, one more. I'll let you try it, see how far you get. This is problem number 11. Holy, positive 29. Wait, can we skip that one?
Yep.
Yeah.
No, let's try it.
What?
Where do you go with the graph?
What do you mean?
You just give me what you can. We'll ignore the y-intercept.
We need a one.
Yeah, just pretend it's way up here.
So what?
Give me everything but the y-intercept. Give me the axis of symmetry, give me the max or the min, give me 1 point not on the axis of symmetry, and we'll call it a day. Do the best you can. Not expect, I understand this, but you know, math does get a little more complicated than just 5 times 5 every once in a while. I lost my coffee cup, which is really the most serious.
Okay.
Where?
Okay.
Oh, thanks, man. It's crazy. I don't know why I picked the 29. Are any of the ones that crazy? That is nuts. Sure what that was thinking. If you have a question, please at least write down the steps that I did to try to give yourself a chance. Is that 29? 4 times that. So I feel like this would be a very skinny sort of thing. Jax, where'd you get confused? Did you give me an A, B, and a C?
Yeah,
Did you give me an axis of symmetry?
no, but I got off the graph.
The axis of symmetry you got off the graph?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
I'm really.
Wait, did somebody not get the axis of symmetry off the
I just
graph?
got right down the graph.
Oh, people are saying 4.
It's negative.
Huh?
No, it's positive.
It's positive, yeah. Oh, I got the answer negative.
The 16.
Never mind, I got the two.
Two negatives.
Step half. A is 2, B is negative 16, C is 29.
That's.
Step 1, axis of symmetry is negative b over 2 times a. B is negative 16. A is 2. Negative is just going to make this positive 4. So 10 divided by 4 is 4. So certainly this is your axis of symmetry. Because it's positive, it's going to have a max or a min, David.
Min?
Yeah, because it's going to be a smiley face. Did they get them in? Russell, did you get them in? Who? I'd say if it works out, you probably got it. You need to take this 2x squared minus 16x plus 29 and put that number in for it. 2 times 4 squared minus 16 times 4 plus 29. A lot of big numbers, but you're smart kids. 4 times 4 is 16 times 2 is 32 minus 64 plus 29. What does that give me? What's that? 3, negative 3. If you do that math. So here on the axis of symmetry, negative 3 is your bottom. And then I just asked you to find one more point. There's no easy way because our y-intercept is positive 29, which is up there somewhere. What point did we put in? Ella Broman, what point did you throw in there for the third point? I gotta have one more point to draw my graph.
4.
No.
Oh, wait, what?
Give me that. You can't pick me the axis of symmetry. It's gotta be one of these numbers.
Oh, 3.
You did put 3 in there?
No, I didn't get that far. I was watching the wall shake. Look at the wall. The wall is shaking back and forth. I'm not even kidding you.
I see it.
Back and forth the wall.
So here it
There's
is.
like little kids outside, like pounding on
I
it.
know.
2 times 3 squared minus 16 times 3 plus 29. That's what you get if you put 3 in there, which is this going to be somewhere around here. 3 times 3 is 9, times 2 is 18, minus 48 plus 29. Oh, look, this is negative 30 plus 29 is negative 1. So here at 3, you got a point at negative 1. It's symmetrical, so there's a point in the exact same place. And then, ladies and gentlemen, just like that. Are you ready to go out on your own? Sure. You, let's see what you can do on the first 6. I'm a wheel and deal man, Jack. If I see people working hard and not like complaining about things, I'm willing to take or remove or add. But again, I would prefer if you just show me all the steps and take your time and go slowly. This is about quality, not quantity. You have to organize your thoughts. It helps you to do some of the calculating on a different piece of paper, like a big square. That, if you think that'll make your life, but keep that piece of paper. Do not tomorrow come and show me all these graphs and have no work. Life will be rough all over. You have zero idea, we can talk some more, but again, show me that you're at least trying the easy steps. All right, lay down in front of you. Actually, we already did number 2. Did we do number 2?
Yeah.
Oh, crying out loud. How much easier can that be? Meanwhile. Uh-oh. Did I not share my screen?